Hey guys, welcome back to Show Me How Beauty. Today I'm doing a tutorial featuring this amazing new lip product from Jeffree Star. This is the Velour liquid lipstick, and I pretty much just wanted to do a tutorial featuring it because I think it's so cool. So I just thought I'd do a simple makeup look just to go with a really bright lip. So to begin with today, I thought I would start off with sort of the basic skincare that I usually do before I do my makeup. Just so you sort of really understand that obviously the better your skin looks, the better your makeup is going to look. So I actually always use the Clinique Anti-Blemish Solutions Clarifying Lotion as part of my sort of skincare routine following cleansing in the shower. So just take a little bit of that on a cotton pad and just wipe it over the skin. And this just takes off any of the dead skin that's sort of sitting on top of the surface. Following my clarifying lotion, I then use my Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturising Lotion. So these are products that I actually use all the time. It's not just something I'm using just today. And then following that, I use my Clinique Smart Serum. And I found this to be really good for lightening the redness that I get from having blemishes. So obviously these are like not blemishes anymore, but are sort of redness left over. And yeah, this serum has been proven in my experience to really lighten them and even the skin tone. So this is the second bottle I think that I've used of this product, so I really love it actually. So you can use whatever skincare you like to use at home. I'm just showing you that prior to makeup you should really use your skincare products just so that your skin is feeling and looking amazing. That way sort of less goes into your actual makeup. And this is what I usually do actually, like every time I do my makeup. And even with all my tutorials, I usually just don't do it on screen, but this is what I usually would do. Following my serum, I'm then going to go in with the Strobe Cream from MAC, and I'm going to use that all over the skin just for a really beautiful sort of illuminated or luminous skin. The better primed and the better skincare you use, the better your makeup lasts. People often ask me about primers, but in my opinion, if your skin is really well prepped with skincare, then primers you probably don't need to invest as much money on. Obviously, if you have oily skin, then a primer that's sort of going to stop the oiliness is important. But if you're more on the dry side, then actually prepping your skin with skincare I think is more important than using a primer. Obviously, if you have endless money, then you can do everything and use all the products in the world. But sometimes it's best to sort of work out what you actually need and then invest your money in the right places. So for foundation today, I'm using my Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation SPF 15. So to buff that into the skin, I'm using a rounded buffer brush by Designer Makeup Tools. This is a vegan synthetic brush, so that's always good to know. I like how this foundation evens the skin tone, but it doesn't look really heavy. It still looks like skin. So for brows today, I'm using my Dipbrow Pomade by Anastasia Beverly Hills in medium brown. Put a little bit in the lid and then sort of brush my brush onto it. I do the same sort of thing with eyeliner, just so that you don't get too much product and your brush isn't getting all sort of bent and stuff. You're sort of using the sides of it. So I just like to brush through the hairs. And then starting mostly from the bottom, and moving upwards. The good thing about this product is if you do get it in any extra areas where you don't really want it, you can sort of wipe it away while it's still not yet set. It is the Pro Conceal and Correct Palette in medium. I'm just going to take this colour here and just run that along the brow underneath the hair, just to give it a little lift. My tip is to sort of distribute the product first under both the brows, so you don't end up with heaps on one and none on the other. And on my chin. So to prime my lids today, I'm going to take MAC Painterly Paint Pot just on my little finger, and I'm going to press that all over the lid. I notice a massive difference if I don't prime my eyelids, so I always do, but we're all different, and if you think that your makeup is fine without a primer, then you're more than welcome to do it like that. So for eyeshadows today, I've got a few in a little Z palette here. This is Mylar by MAC, and I'm just going to take that and press it all over the lid. Flat shader brush from Smashbox. This is PC59A. It's sort of like a really warm tone medium brown, like pretty much nearly orange. So I'm going to run that through the crease. And I'm using a small tapered crease brush from Designer Makeup Tools. As you can see, it comes out quite warm. I'm taking Cork from MAC, and I'm just going to run that through the crease, but sort of keeping it a little bit more intense and a little bit more in the crease rather than sort of blending it around a lot. So I'm just taking a little bit of the Pro Conceal from LA Girl in the colour Creamy Beige. This is actually the first time that I've used it, so I'll be interested to see what it's like. Ooh, looks quite bright. I'll do sort of a little bit of a contour with it then, since it is quite light. Just taking a little bit through the centre of the face. This concealer is so cheap, so if it's good. So I'm just going to use my finger and just press that in. It's quite a full coverage concealer. So in future I probably won't need this much concealer. So as you can see, it's pretty intense. But if you like concealer, then you'll probably really like this one. So I'm just taking a little bit of Select Sheer Press Powder from MAC. This is in the colour NC40. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that on a 228 crease brush from Zoeva. And I'm just going to press that right up under the eye. Just to set that eye area. And this will probably like dull that really bright yellow effect a little bit as well. And then I'm going to set the rest of the face just with a blush brush from Smashbox. Pressing it into the skin. So now that I've got my concealer, I'm going to take those two brown eyeshadows in the same order as I did on the top lash line. I'm just going to take them along the bottom lash line. I'm using a Haku Hodo little detailer brush. Just going to take a little bit of Antiqued from MAC, and I'm just going to run it on the bottom corner, bottom lash line in the corner, and the top lash line, just for a bit of definition. So I'm using lots of new products today, and another new product I'm using is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. It sort of looks quite big on camera, but in reality it's not that big. Like, it's quite small. Like, this is a makeup brush beside it, and it's quite a small brush too. So I'm going to take this, actually I'm going to take this light colour just sort of across those high points of the face, just to see sort of how it translates onto the skin. I'm then going to take that middle brown tone here, and I think really it's a little bit darker in life than it comes up on camera. So just so you know. I'm then going to take a little bit just on the same brush as before. And I'm sort of doing circular motions. It's not very dark, so if you are quite if you are fairly tanned, this might actually be a little bit light for you. Now I'm going to start using a little bit of the other two colours just to sort of see how they apply as well. So for blush today I'm using Fleur Power by MAC. Just going to dust that onto the cheeks. I'm taking the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. I'm just going to dust that along the tops of my cheekbones. I'm just using a soft tapered blending brush from Designer Makeup Tools. I like to sort of pat it on and then start to sort of sweep it around. Just blend it with your finger. And so for some eyeliner, I'm going to take MAC Black Track. So using a lot of MAC today, sorry about that. And this is a cheapo angled liner brush that I got from Priceline probably a year ago. Or no, maybe like 3 years ago. But it's actually an awesome brush, so I probably should go out and get a couple more. It's the same brush that I use for my eyebrows. Making sure it's really black. And then I'm just going to drag it out. For mascara today I'm using the Dior Extase, Dior Show Extase mascara. For lashes today I'm using the 572 lashes from Modelrock. I think I do need to trim these ones from memory. I'm then going to take a little bit of duo glue. So I've got my lash with the lash applicator. Okay, so when you've got both your lashes on, you're good to go. This is the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick in the colour Prom Night. This consistency is sort of so light it sort of tickles. It's pretty much weightless. I thought I was going to need a lip brush, but it's sort of actually quite easy to control. Okay, so that is the finished look. I hope that you've enjoyed the tutorial and learned a little something new, even about new products. Like I've done this and I'm sort of like learning as I go about different things, like feeling the textures and seeing what I think. So I guess it's a little bit of like a first impressions product tutorial, but everything that I've tried I've really loved, so I'm really glad that it turned out well, because there's nothing worse than buying something online and then hating it. I enjoyed making the tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed watching it, and if you have any video requests or questions, make sure to leave them below, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thanks for watching.